Hi everyone, I'm Lei. Welcome to Lei's Real Talk. In my last video titled, Who Has Your Data?, I talked about the risk of 5G from the perspective of user experience and how data plays an important role. Today I'll discuss the risk of 5G at the societal level. What kind of society we'll have if we continue the current trend of censorship and privacy breach. I want you to be aware of what the big tech companies can potentially do with 5G technology. The big difference between 4G and 5G is that 4G relies on a physical device to connect to the internet. The device connects your data and sends it to the network. The device is your gateway to the network. In the 5G world, you don't need a gateway. You are in the network 24/7. The network and your data are integrated. So if you want to live in society, you must submit yourself to the network. The entire network is one big smart device that collects data and monitors you. For example, now if you don't like Facebook and WhatsApp collecting our data, we can jump to Signal and Telegram. Or if we don't like Twitter, we can go to Parler. In the 5G world, there's no difference between one app and another because the control is done at the network level. All the apps are interconnected. That's why security and control of the 5G network is so important and has triggered international trade wars over suppliers of 5G network equipment. Whoever controls the equipment controls the network, controls the data, and eventually controls the people. But who really controls the network in America? China's Huawei is the world's largest telecom equipment maker and holds the most 5G-related patents. It is also at the center of allegations that its equipment contains backdoors, enabling surveillance by the Chinese Communist Party. It's public knowledge that Huawei is backed by the Chinese military and the CCP. That's why Huawei has been able to sell its network equipment worldwide through aggressive pricing. Wherever Chinese 5G equipment is used, it collects information about people's political views, spending habits, physical location, medical histories, personal details, financial situation, and more. This gives the Chinese Communist regime commercial and technical advantage in data-driven markets and at the same time compromises people's privacy. President Trump banned Huawei in the U.S. in May 2019. The U.S. started a Clean Network campaign to boot untrusted vendors like Huawei from critical 5G infrastructure around the world. In 1 year, more than 50 countries, representing 2/3 of the world's economy and 180 telecom companies, joined the Clean Network initiative, led by the U.S. This is a great achievement by the Trump administration. But the risk of a Chinese digital takeover is still very high. The problem is that even if the world stops buying Chinese equipment from Huawei and its Chinese rival ZTE, we're still using Chinese technology and adopting standards that Chinese controls. Huawei and ZTE are the biggest owners of 5G patents. Together with other Chinese companies, China owns 36% of all 5G-related patents. In addition to owning a large share of 5G patents, China controls the global mobile broadband standard called 3GPP. Dave Burstein, editor of DSL Prime, said in 2018 that nothing can get approved in 3GPP that China strongly opposes. Burstein also said in his 2018 article that the U.S. has become a secondary player in wireless standards in the past 10 years, while China has become dominant. So even if we don't use Huawei's equipment, Huawei's competitors like Ericsson, Nokia, and Samsung are still using standards written by the Chinese to build a 5G network in North America, and this is a big security threat to us. The CCP has been planning its digital takeover through a program called the Digital Silk Road. China's Vice Minister of Industry and Information Technology, Chen Zhaoxiong, described the Digital Silk Road as a project to help, quote, construct a community of common destiny in cyberspace. Wait, who wants to have a common destiny with a communist regime? But is it too late for us to avoid this fate now? Let's take a look at what China is doing with its 5G network so we can get an idea of its roadmap. I read on Chinese social media that a young lady who went to a job interview in China was denied the job because her father had a poor social credit score. How is this possible? China announced its social credit system in 2014 and officially rolled it out in 2020. This is not some kind of credit score as we know it. This is a tool for digital oppression. If you watched my previous video, you know how the CCP collects massive amounts of data through WeChat and surveillance cameras. It builds a profile and gives a score to each citizen based on the data the surveillance system has analyzed and calculated. From there, the CCP builds a credit score system based on how favorable it thinks each person is. Chinese investigative reporter Liu Hu, which can be translated as Tiger Liu, I call him Tiger Liu, was detained by police for a year after he exposed the corruption of 4 government officials in 2013. His courage was recognized by Paris-based Reporters Without Borders, and the organization listed him as one of the 100 courageous reporters in 2014. In 2017, Liu discovered that he couldn't buy a ticket to ride the high-speed rail system. The reason is he's on a blacklist of the regime's social credit system for having a very low social credit score. Human Rights Watch reported a similar situation in which a lawyer by the name of Li Xiaoling couldn't buy an air ticket or apply for a credit card. In January 2019, the website of a Chinese court revealed that more than 18 million Chinese were denied commercial flights and 5.5 million were prohibited from traveling on the high-speed rail because of their poor social credit score in China. Tiger Liu believes that the credit system has hijacked Chinese people's thinking. He was quoted by media as saying, "They became blind, they became deaf. They know very little about the outside world and are living in illusion." Liu's words described exactly the common destiny that the CCP has designed for America. Without big tech companies working so closely with China's communist regime, we're heading in that direction. I will make a video about how our big tech companies are working with the CCP. Stay tuned. So if you're now concerned about your data being collected by WhatsApp, Facebook, and the like, you should really be cautious about getting 5G. You may wake up one day only to find that you are blacklisted. Speaking of blacklists, doesn't AOC want to blacklist Trump's 74 million supporters? And isn't the former DNC press secretary Hari Sevagan looking to blacklist those who worked for the Trump administration through the Trump Accountability Project? If they have the technology and the data, they will certainly do it. Now, the Chinese regime is taking the technology even one step further. The court system in Hebei province is collaborating with Tencent, the maker of WeChat, to integrate the social credit system with a map that geographically tracks people considered as troublemakers, like Tiger Liu. The court also openly asks people to spy on them and snitch on each other, all in the name of building a harmonious and creditworthy society. This is what a totalitarian regime does with technology. When you give your data to the big tech companies who are controlled by a totalitarian regime, you are inviting digital oppression. Be aware, my friends. I will continue to bring you more information on this subject, so please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and please stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.